Hey, what's going on? It's your boy, the Real Goat Sports here. Just with a quick, update regarding the UFC 291 card. Phenomenal card, by the way. Still kind of pissed, couldn't see Costa and Stephen Thompson fight, but it's whatever. It's still phenomenal performances by Derek Lewis, Bobby Green, Kevin Holland, and Gaethje. Pereira fight was pretty disappointing to see. I really would like to see Pereira, get a knockout in the third round, which I thought he could have done, but that's a little shaky on the results of that as well, but we'll get into it. Starting off with the first fight in the main card, Kevin Holland versus Michael Chiesa. So coming right off the bat, it's a no-brainer. I knew Kevin Holland was gonna beat Chiesa. Chiesa having taken roughly around 2 years off. There's only a couple of people in the UFC I know could take that. I can say myself can take a couple of years off and come back. I think Oliveira can do that, and I think John Jones can do that. That's the only couple of people that I think could come back and actually, win fights. But Kevin Holland is a phenomenal fighter. Got him out in the first round with a submission. I use Prize Picks because where I'm from, sports betting is not legal, and I know you can use a VPN and all this stuff, blah blah blah. But I did pick the under for Holland's fight time because I knew he was gonna get him out quick. And this is just a quick video on what Holland had to say after the fight.
How do you think the fight played out?
I should have let go of that choke. Just stood up and just started punching him. Motherfucker, get knocked out. God damn it. No, I'm just playing. Coach just kind of called it. It's like one thing about Chiesa is when he gets put in a very bad situation, it's like he just kind of gives up the submission. It's like maybe he feels like he can escape the submission and then put you in a submission. And maybe that's the case. Maybe that's exactly what he thinks. But that's not the case. And overall, he got submitted. But smart guy, way to avoid brain damage. Every time he feels like he's going to get hurt, he gives up a submission, and then you're victorious. So thanks.
A lot of people online seem to think Chiesa looked a little slow. Maybe the time away maybe like messed with his timing and everything. Did it feel like that in there?
I mean, I guess. I mean, like I was talking to them. I probably shouldn't say this. I wish some of you women would plug your ears. Usually there's not women back here, so I'm sorry, guys, ahead of time. But it's like having sex every day of the week and then fucking a virgin. It's like he's been gone way too long. That shit was way too tight. He couldn't handle it. Once again, sorry, ladies.
It's just a weird analogy. I wasn't expecting it.
Makes sense, though, right?
It does, yeah. Your wrestling looks impeccable. It almost looks like you've learned how to defend takedowns now. I'm curious how much you've worked on that. And did you sort of, once you stuffed the first one, think, oh, he's in trouble now?
No. It's like we talked about it a lot with Sands, and, it's like I got a wrestling coach now. And said several times, it's like it's not the first shot you got to stop. It's, it's like the first three shots. But every wrestling coach I've ever worked with have always said that. So it's like you stop one, you stop two, you stop three, and then they start to get a little desperate and they're not as good as shots. And that's just kind of what happened. It's like Chiesa got in good, pulled him up. Chiesa got in good, pulled him up. Chiesa got in deep, wasn't deep enough.
All right, for fight number 2 of the night. Poor Tony Ferguson, man. Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. I mean, most of you guys already knew Tony Ferguson was probably going to lose. Of course, he has a lot of fans. Everybody rooting for Tony. But realistically, if you thought he was winning it, you're a dumbass. With that being said, though, Tony did look very good before that eye poke. That round 1 eye poke by Green, some could say that effed him up, which it probably did, because, before the fight, he was looking good. Then after the fight, he looked terrible. I mean, Green was just dominating him. I commend the fight from Tony Ferguson, though. Especially during the submission, he was trying to hold on, trying to get the decision out versus, but he, at the end of the day, he fucking passed out. So it's up to the ref's job to stop the fucking fight. But in my opinion, I think Tony should hang it up. I'm going to play this interview real quick from Bobby Green, who said that Tony still have lots of fight in him, which, shit, I don't know about that, Bobby, but...
Bobby, you can't, like you said, you can't speak for another guy about what he wants to do with his career, but for you were just in there with him. Did he feel like a guy who's at the end of his career, if you know what I mean?
I don't know. I wouldn't say so. I mean, he took a hell of shots and he was still fighting. He was still game. And I felt like maybe it was someone else. Maybe they would kind of slow down and stop. He could have, like, if I think he still got it in him. I would say so. He's got a lot of fight in him, you know. Even when I thought, all right, you're going to start backing up because you're getting hit with some shots, he was still coming at me like, I thought he thought I was going to get tired and quit. But no, that's what tells me he still got so much fight in him. So I wouldn't say give it up if I was him.
First,
I really do commend Bobby Green for coming in that post-fight interview and really showing good sportsmanship, good talk towards Tony. But come the fuck on, man. Tony need to hang it up, man. When you just steady getting beat, and your name is not Nate Diaz, and you just steady getting beat up. Tony looked bad. He really looked bad in those last couple of rounds. But on to the next fight.
The winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, you have the most knockouts in the history of the sport. Now you're rated up to 14, and what a phenomenal one it was. Did you plan to open with that flying knee? Hell no.
Fight of the night, Derek Lewis versus Lima. I mean, man, I knew it was going to be quick, but I didn't know it was going to be that fucking quick. Derek Lewis just comes out with a fucking flying knee and just pounds on him. I believe the ref should have stopped that faster than what it was, man. I didn't see De Lima coming up out of that anytime soon. But prize picks, I think they had 3 minutes for De Lima to last, and I picked the over because I thought he was going at least make it out of round 1. But I didn't expect Derek Lewis to come out with a fucking flying knee. I mean, that's fight of the night for sure, man. But hats off to Derek Lewis. He's got the most knockouts in UFC heavyweight history, and I'm really happy for him. It's kind of hard to root against a guy like Derek Lewis. So, all right, this next fight has a lot of controversy behind it. Pereira versus Blachowicz. Let me just say my opinion. Blachowicz. Round 1, round 2 Pereira, and round 3 was just up for fucking grabs to me. About this narrative where Jan had fucking dominated all 3 rounds, I don't think so. Very grapple heavy, very ground game approach by Blachowicz, which makes sense. I wouldn't expect him to go stand up with Pereira. Just Pereira being a faster fighter. Even though, Yan has knockout ability. But for me, that was just up for grabs. I don't really think it was a clear-cut decision. A lot of people saying robbery. I didn't really think so. But pretty disappointing fight, I will say, between Pereira and him. Maybe it is because, there's a lot of, maybe it was robbery because there's a lot of politics involved with UFC sometimes. I know that. Maybe you could say they just want to build up the fight for Pereira and Adesanya 3. Which is, who the fuck wouldn't want to see that? I would want to see that. But, yeah, so really it was up for grabs between Pereira and Blachowicz. My opinion, I think Pereira did win just, by a little, not by much. But, yeah, it's just really up for grabs. People always going to have their opinion. So now the main event, Poirier and Gaethje 2. Which 2 phenomenal fighters going against each other, 2 pretty even fighters. I didn't know who to pit out between Poirier and Gaethje, who is the clear-cut winner. I think when it comes to these fighters, they're very, pretty even, kind of similar. In my opinion, Poirier won round 1, but then Gaethje just comes out of nowhere with a freaking head kick. And then that's all she wrote after that. What's next for Gaethje? Maybe either Oliveira or Islam, depending on who wins out of those. But, at the end, he's probably going to fight, Darush. But we'll see. Pretty good card, I will say. Very exciting card. Like I said earlier, I wish Stephen Thompson, his fight didn't get cast. I would have loved to see him fight. But at the end of the day, this was a pretty good card. And it's pretty satisfying to watch. Besides the, Blachowicz and Pereira fight, I think all of the fights were good. They either ended in submission or KO or TKO. So, yeah, pretty entertaining fight card. And yeah, that was just a quick little review of, the UFC 291 Gaethje Poirier 2 card. Make sure you leave a like down below for more content and subscribe as well. I'll see you on the next video, guys.